Okay, testing, 1, 2, 3. Audio check. Okay, testing. Okay, we're good. Hello everyone. Welcome to another Blender stream. I have a new stream starting soon screen. Yay! Yeah. Cool. Right then, let's, take that down. Boop. Ooh, hold on. Let me just close that. And where? Don't tell me I turned something on I shouldn't have. There we go. Okay, there we go. Right then. Hello, everyone. Yes. Oh, we're gonna be doing Blender stuff today, a little bit at least. I don't know what I'm doing today. I really don't. But I think, what I'm going to do maybe is build a giant crab. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to create a GUI page. That giant crab. Yeah, we're gonna make a big giant crab, and we're gonna make it have its own page. Yeah. Big giant crab. And it's gonna be animated too. It's gonna eventually work with the day-night cycle, but that's an adventure for another day. For the moment, I'm gonna create an icosphere. That giant crab. That giant crab torso. Yes. And we're just gonna scale up a big giant icosphere here. I'll go over that in another bit. So yeah, big giant crab. Tab. I'm gonna squish it a bit so we have a bit of a more crab-like shell. I'm not sure what textures or whatever I'm gonna use on this. I'm probably gonna grab Shroomi's textures later and cover it. That can be its own thing. But for the moment, I'm just gonna model parts of it, rough parts of it. Yeah. I'm gonna scale it by the y-axis just a bit to give us a little more shape. Let's go with solid. We don't need to have... Actually, no, it might be better. Yeah, material. There we go. I'm gonna create a new texture. That giant crab. And we'll make it shadeless for the moment. Like I said, we're not gonna give this a texture or anything just yet. We're gonna just play this by ear. So, who attended the age release yesterday, huh? That was pretty cool, I think. Yeah. We had a few technical difficulties here and there. But, yeah, nothing we can really do about that. when they happen. So I'm going to give it... This crab is going to be 6-legged. So, let's see here. We want you, and you. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to scale it inwards. I'm going to smooth those vertices. Yeah. That'll give us some nice joint places for the joints to attach. Draw edges. Yeah. Yeah. Crabs. You'll have to forgive me that I am going to, I'm going to reference abduction a bit here by giving this thing a big old lobster tail. Yeah. We're gonna give this thing a nice big lobster tail. Why? Because I like the Arai beetles, and actually, no, we're not going to do that just yet. That's going to have to be its own... The tail is going to have to articulate, so it's going to have to be its own mesh. Ugh. Hate that. Yeah, the tail's going to have to wait. Tail is going to have to wait. Until I figure out how that's going to look. What we're gonna do next instead is we're gonna select the entire top shell of this guy here. Yep. I'm just gonna scale it up, and we're gonna extrude. Nope, that's too wide. We're gonna extrude it slightly outwards. We're gonna extrude it upwards. And like a turtle shell, we're going to extrude it up, scale it in, extrude it up, scale it in. I'm going to actually lower it down slightly so that way when we extrude it up and scale it in again, it's got that nice kind of turtle-y ridge to it. Scale it up. Shrink it down, bring it in. Oh yeah. And like this kind of looks more like a crab or turtle so far, but again, alien wildlife. It's not, not generally really known for. I mean, it looks like a giant rock so far if you look at it from above. Just like, ooh, giant rock, wow. I think... Oh yeah, look at how that shell kind of raises up in there on the middle legs. Did I screwed that up. Yes, I did. I must have grabbed 2 more faces than on one side than I did the other. But, you know what? That gives it a little bit of a unique personality. And I am going to lower it down just a smidge. Come under here, grab that, pull it down, pull it out. While that is not quite as symmetrical as I like, it gives it a little bit of an organic flinge to it, I guess. So we're gonna live with that. We're gonna live with that being like that. Because while I wished I kept that perfectly symmetrical, I can live with it not being symmetrical. Yeah, I see what happened here. I didn't grab this plane, whereas I grabbed that plane. Or rather, I did grab that plane. I grabbed an extra plane where I didn't on the other side. So it's a little wonky, but that is perfectly okay. In fact, we're gonna roll with it. Like I said, we're gonna roll with it. We're gonna make it a little more organic by just sort of we're just gonna we're just gonna slightly make this a little less geometrically even, slightly on its sides. So that way it's easy enough to tell which way is north and which way is south, or rather, which way is the front, which way is the back. I think the next thing to adjust is actually this little front slope here. That's a little, there we go. That makes that a little bit smoother. Makes it not look quite so sharp and artificial. So I'm gonna extrude and scale in another hole here. And this is gonna be where our neck attaches in. You're like, wait, crabs don't have necks. No, but I want it to have a face that kind of turns left and right a bit, and I want to have a place for it to, actually, hold on. I want to have a place where it can reside, so, yeah, we're just going to pull that in, pull that in. I'm just giving myself room to animate here. And you might be thinking, Cal, how can you do a creature without bones? Which the Korman system can't do the plasma engine bone system. Well, you see, there's a very simple explanation for that. God, I can't believe I said that. We're going to be doing this by parenting objects to each other. And like what we were doing with the plushie dolls. You know, like how I had the limbs plushed. The limbs of the plushie and the head of the plushie attached to the torso in a way that when I moved the torso around, it moved everything else around. We're going to be doing something different, something similar to that, wherein the crab is going to have a big old animation cycle that is set to follow the rising and lowering of the tides. I'm just going to give every single object that the crab is going to have a parent to the main crab shell body. And they're all going to have individual animations that play out respectively to themselves. But all the different objects are actually going to be kind of nested and parented to each other. So like, let's say I have a claw arm that's going to have the upper arm, the forearm, and the claw. So you've got the wrist, the elbow, and the shoulder joints. So they're going to be little, the parent objects are going to be right there at those joints. So that way when I have the thing animated, if I want the claw to turn left and right, I might turn it at the elbow and then at the wrist. So it moves. So my main thinking here is we're gonna just do that. First, I'm gonna flatten out the middle of the torso here. And then I'm gonna extrude and shrink to give it a little more of a belly. And then I'm gonna smooth the vertex, extrude, scale, and give it a big old belly. I'm probably gonna regret doing that eventually, but we're still in the model it and find out phase, so I'm gonna extrude that to the X. We're gonna give that a bit of a, I'm gonna give that a little bit of definition there. And we'll get to the animation later once we've gotten things textured and whatnot. Not too happy with the spacing on that so far. So we're just gonna come in here. I'm gonna select all of these faces. Okay. Make sure I've got everything I want to get. Okay. Now I'm gonna extrude it down, scale it in a bit more, pull it up a bit, yeah. And then I'm gonna stretch out the Z-axis. I'm gonna hit smooth vertex. There we go. That gives that a bit more room to maneuver, and also will give me room to attach claw arms. So we're gonna extrude and scale those inwards. Oops, hold on. That was silly of me, because I can just do that. Yeah, if I pull those back, yeah, there we go. If I smooth vertex, yeah. There we go. Okay. And then we got places for the lower legs, and we got places for the arm, and we got place for the head. The question is, do I want to go more lobster or crab for this? Because, like, I want to do the lobster tail. Yeah, if I want it to have a tail. Tail's got to come from under the shell. I'm gonna give it some extra breathing room there. Yeah, that gives it some breathing room. Tail will come out from under there. Okay. I think I'm going to start working on the tail next. Question is, how do I want to start the tail? I think to begin with, I'm going to duplicate the joint where it begins. Then I'm going to section that off to its own object. Tab. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out to about here. And then I'm going to pull this back into about here. Actually, no, hold on. That was a stupid order of operations. Giant crab tail is going to be that parented to that giant crab torso. Going to zero out its origin. Okay. And now I'm going to do that, or I'm going to pull that out. And then I'm going to pull this in. Okay. Okay. So what we now have is our tail with its origin point back here at the place where the tail attaches. And this way I can do a z-axis rotation or a little bit of y-axis animation. So I'm going to extrude this out a bit. I'm going to scale it by the z-axis. No, I'm going to do what I just said and give it a little bit of y-axis rotation. Pull that out, pull that out, pull it out. And we're going to give that a bit of the z-axis treatment to make it a little thicker. Pull it out, and I'm going to scale it in by the y-axis and the z-axis slightly. Okay. And now I'm going to do that all again, sort of. I'm going to duplicate the object, giant crab tail. We're going to zero it out again. This time we're going to pull it out like so, pull it in, tab. We're going to select everything and we're going to scale it in by the y-axis. We're going to scale it in by the z-axis. And I'm realizing this section is going to have this section come down a bit more. Yeah, there we go. And this section is going to have to mirror that. So we're going to pull that down. We're going to pull that down. Yeah. There we go. And then if I pull this up, we'll come in here with this object. Yeah, we're gonna take that. I'm gonna pull it down just a smidge. Okay. So basically, you can kind of see what I'm gonna be doing here now. If I pull these to the y-axis, spread it out a bit. we've got 2 little bits of a tail. I think we're gonna need a third. Hi, Wonk! I got you right as you sneaked in. You hadn't even appeared on the delayed stream yet, so I got you right as you sneaked in, almost exactly. Hi, Wonk. So yeah, we're making a big giant crab. What do you think about that? Yes, I did get you. Big giant crab with a lobster tail. Oh, you're getting cookies ready. Yes, it is a good idea to get cookies ready. So yes, we're going to essentially just then. I think this tail should have 5 segments to it. So we're at section 2 now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate it again. Giant crab tail, and this is going to parent to that. And hey, that actually wound up almost exactly where I wanted it to wind up. Lovely. Okay. So yes, we're going to pull out this whole back section now, and we're going to scale it up, scale it out. Yeah, that's starting to look a little more like a lobster tail. But I'm going to shrink it a bit by the x-axis. And then by the z-axis. There we go. Yep. Actually, you know what? 3 sections to the lobster. It's going to have 6 legs, so it can't be a quab. Quabs are 4-legged. Quab is quadrupedal crab, so. Ooh, the quabs. That is a good point for texturing reference, though. Actually, no. You know what? I think I like 3-tail sections. I'm gonna stick with these 3-tail sections. And actually, no. Yes. No. One more tail section. We're gonna do one more tail section. So we're going to duplicate it. And we're going to parent it to that. Yay. Okay. Pull it out. Hold on. We're on tail 3. Parented it to tail 2. Just parented to tail 1. Just parented to tail. Which is parented to torso. Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Scale out the y-axis. Back in here. I'm gonna slightly. I'm gonna rotate this by the y-axis. Yeah, there we go. Rotation. Okay. Okay. We're now going to scale that down by the z-axis. And I'm going to extrude it up, scale it down, scale it by the y. I'm going to do extrude, scale. Just extrude, extrude. Okay. Oops, I did not do that one right. Extrude. Okay. We're going to scale those inwards. We're going to pull them outwards. Nope, that did not work. I'm going to have to do this individually. Yep, scale. We're going to pull those outwards. We're going to scale them by the y-axis. There we go. Scale them by the z-axis. Yeah, there we go. Rotate by the y a bit. Yep, squish them by the z. Rotate by the y. Yep, there we go. And we're going to get that little bit of signature lobster fin going on here. Yeah, it's a big giant crab that is got a lobster tail, and it's a big giant crab. Yeah, you missed the scale reference so far, but here we are in Reishu. We got a big old thing that's gonna climb up onto the rock here. Look at that. It's a big old thing. But, yeah, this thing is going to be out in the nighttime. Or, actually, no, it's going to be out in the daytime when the tides are high. And it's going to be down in the water in the nighttime when the tides are low. So, it's one of those, yeah, it's a thing. It's a big, big, giant thing. I'm not even entirely sure what textures it's going to have yet. But, we will work on that. Okay, anyways, so back to our tail. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to subdivide the tail, and then I'm going to triangulate it. Probably should have waited. Actually, no, I'm going to wait to do the triangulation on all of it. I'm going to do it just on these tail fin bits, because I know those are going to give me trouble if I don't. Okay. Now those are triangulated. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm going to do extrude. Extrude. I'm going to pull those out. Separate them slightly. Extrude, scale them down, scale them by the y-axis. Yep, there we go. And I'm going to come in here with just these, and I'm going to scale them by the y to give us a little more gap and breathing room. Yeah, lengthen them a bit. Okay. No. Do the same exact thing. Okay. We're gonna do it the same way. Just gonna pull these out, scale them down. Oop, no, that was scaled up. I want to scale them flatter than that. Scale them by the y-axis. Okay. Come along and grab these. There we go. Now try and make this a bit more curved. Yeah, curved is the right word, I guess. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Okay, we're gonna pull these out. I'm gonna scale them by the y-axis. Pull them back in. Scale them by the z-axis. I think that looks fairly lobstery. I'm going to take the bottom bits specifically. I'm going to stretch them out a bit. Yeah, there we go. And then I'm just going to scale them on the y-axis a little bit more. No, I'm going to scale them on the y-axis inward. No, outwards. Yeah, outwards is probably the safer one. There we go. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, we've got a big old lobster tail. happy with that. I'm very happy with how that looks. Yeah, it's like, look, if we do the y-axis, woo, look, the whole thing turns, yay! And then if we did the z-axis, woo, look at that, it sways. But yeah, that's basically the plan, is I have all of these parented objects to each other. And so, because crabs are very simple creatures with very obvious joints, it will make hiding the fact that it is not a bone creature animated object a lot easier. Because, yeah, I am working around the fact that I cannot do bones for giant creatures. So here we have a big old crab torso and a big old crabby lobstery tail. And all of their joints are right where they need to be. Y-axis, Y. But yeah, okay. Now then, let's work on legs. So I've got 3 leg positions. I think I'm going to just make the legs. I'm going to make 1 leg, and then I'm going to replicate it 3 times for each side. That seems to be the easiest and obvious way to do this to me. To give myself just enough room in general. It might look like a giant turtle, actually, honestly, rather than more of a giant crab, but, we will deal with it. But yeah, imagine you're, standing up here and wanting to jump down that island. A big giant crab down there is gonna make you want to get out of there very quickly, isn't it? Turtles are cute. Crabs are cute. Combine them together with a lobster and you get, traditional Reishuian nightmare fuel, I guess. Because, yeah, Reishu is a Dark Souls boss world kind of situation. Yeah. You get a cutiezilla. I mean, I'm sure someone will find this thing cute when I'm done with it. Okay. But yeah, okay, limbs. I'm gonna start with the rear legs because those are probably gonna be the easiest to do. Although first things first, I'm gonna select these bits here and pull them back. Give it a little more smooth. There we go. Because those are kind of a little, weirdly placed. Oh, I see what's happened there. Oh, I see what's happened there. Those are all, oh, bugger. Okay, let's triage. Let's triage. Okay. I underestimated something here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, we're gonna have to delete some faces here. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix this. Although maybe that's for the best if I do it like that. Oh, wait, I can have, this way I can have more of a internal gap for the, the front and middle legs. Gives them more of a... Yeah. Okay, we're gonna work with this. We're gonna work with this. We are gonna live with it, and we are going to make it work for us. So, we've got these big giant gaps in the side. Kind of unsightly, but... what can you do? Okay. 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 I think that's workable. Yeah, that's workable. Turn back face calling back on. Doop. We're just gonna do this face by face, mirroring it. Boop. 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 So we've got that line there. Then we've got this line here. Okay. Extrude scale Y. Scale X. Oh, the Y-axis was pulled in a little too far there. Let's pull that back a bit. Lower down. Okay. 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 I'm going to take this and this, and we're going to scale them by the y-axis to pull them back a bit. We're going to pull this, scale them by the x-axis, pull them forward. And scale them by the y-axis. Okay, eventually, when we come in here for texturing, we're going to have to make these slot bits textured in black to imply shadow. That is a note for my future self that I will probably forget about. Okay, we're gonna have to deal with these next. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Back in a bit. Okay. And do that. Okay. I'm going to just raise that slightly. Okay. Okay. Oops. Nope, that did not work. We want... Yeah, there we go. That gives us a face to work with. Then that gives us a face to work with. From there, face. And face. Okay. Now I think I can fill that mostly in. No, I still gotta pull these back a bit. Boop. Oh, nope. That was the wrong way to do that. Right, I want you and you. There we go. And then I want you and you. Okay, there we go. Now this feels a little more better, although I'm not happy with how those bits are poking out. So let's scale them in by the y-axis a bit, so it's not so sharp of a thing. And lower down, yeah. Okay. And actually, I've just thought of a thing of how to do the legs, now that I have this big old gap in the middle, but we will worry about that after. Okay. I'm going to come here, face. T. Okay. Let's turn back face calling back on so we can actually see what I'm doing. Boop. Boop. Face. Okay, that matches. Boop. Face. Boop. Boop. Nope. Boop. Boop. Face. Okay. And it's right. You face. Nope, did that wrong. Boop, 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 face, boop, 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 face. Okay. Okay, we now have the crab's leggy section figured out. Doesn't look quite so fabulous, but I have an erroneous face. Get rid of that. There we go. Okay. So you might be thinking, okay, what is the idea I had for the legs? And the idea I had for the legs was, instead of doing 6 individual legs, well, I mean, I'm going to have to do 6 individual legs, but rather than doing 6 individually moving, moving limbs in the middle of the torso, and that could get very, weird. What I was instead thinking of was making like 3 bars for two legs on each end, and then the 3 bars will rotate on their z-axis, going forwards, backwards, and it'll give the implied motion of the legs moving. But if I do it that way, I cannot retract the legs into the torso. And I want to be able to retract the legs into the torso. So, yeah, that idea's out. There's a bit there I need to fix. There we go. That's better. Nope. There. There we go. That'll do. That'll do. Okay. It's in moments like these where I wonder, have I given myself more than I can chew? Have I bitten off more than I can chew with this concept? Well, there's only one way to find out. I'm going to create a cylinder. RX 90. There we go. I'm going to scale it up. And I'm going to P by selection. It's now its own object. This is going to be parented to that giant crab torso. I'm going to 0 it out. Leg base. Okay, so you may be wondering, okay, so what is with this? So I'm starting with the leg in the cylinder. This is my do not show outside point of the object. So. To start with, we're gonna extrude out. I'm just gonna leave like a little model kit dowel where I want to say this does not, you should not see this outside the model. That's my note to myself. So I'm gonna shrink that slightly. I'm gonna extrude it out. Extrude. And then we're going to extrude RX, there we go. I'm going to make it big. To extrude, make it a bit bigger. Extrude it forwards. Make it just a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to scale that by the x-axis because that's getting way too long. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now then, to extrude, scale, and shrink that in by the x-axis, and then I'm going to scale it in even further, and I'm going to pull it in by the y-axis to give it a sort of ball joint look. So yeah, that's our middle leg. I'm going to scale it in by the x a bit to give it a little more organic roundness. Not quite totally round, but close enough. Yeah, okay. So we're going to do what we did with the tail again, but this time we're going to be doing it a little different. Going to Tools. We're going to duplicate that. We're going to split it off by its own selection. And we're going to parent this to the leg base. To bring this here. Tab. I'm going to select the face. I'm going to pull it in. Pull it in. Pull it in. Okay. We're just going to roughly line that up because this is a little bit off. Okay. I think that will work. Okay. I'm going to extrude. Give that a little more of a ball socket kind of look. We're going to do the same thing on this end. Just going to extrude. Extrude and extrude. This way it can slightly pop out of the joint without looking like it's going to be miserable, I guess is the right word. Anyway. To extrude, I'm going to scale it out. I'm going to extrude it again, scale it out. I'm going to scale it in a bit. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to extrude it out, scale it a bit. So it's going to be kind of T-posed to start with, and I'm not going to do all the leg duplication until I have everything textured. I've learned my lesson from the overflow station. I am not retexturing 6 limbs individually. I'm only going to retexture them once and then copy-paste them. Right. Okay. joint again. Yeah. Okay. That'll do. Memories line tab. Let's shrink that in just a bit. And then scale it up by the Z a bit. There we go. I did that through the editor tool, because if I did it manually, it would adjust the size of the following limbs. I don't want it to do that. Right. I'm going to duplicate by selection. We're going to parent it to this. Okay, pull that up. Get this origin point roughly where I want it. Select this, pull it in, make sure that that's, oh yeah, that's nowhere near where I want it. Whoop. Okay, now we're going to pull it in, make sure this roughly, object, transform, origin to geometry, there we go. Go. Okay. Laying middle, and then this is going to be grab leg, lower foot. Okay. Okay. That'll do for pointed tip. Now, I know that might seem like it's a very small leg for a very large body, and you may be right there. But I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I just want the modeling in at this stage. I mean, it does all have to fit inside the torso, but I could probably make the leg longer to do that. So if I did like SY, yeah, see how that made the whole everything else extrude longer? Yeah. Control A, scale. And that applied the scale to everything else. And I don't want it to imply, I don't want to have a, yeah, so that leg may be unreasonably skinny, but we will work with it, and it is a fantasy, yeah, so many polygons, for the moment, I am not worried about polygon count. This is entirely just rough modeling, getting the thing in place in the age, and whatever, you know, just to... Yeah. Anyway, so... we've got a big giant lobster. Yep, those legs are definitely too small. But again, I'll worry about that later. Later. I will worry about the leg size later. Yeah, I'll worry about the legs later. We will worry about the legs later. You know, let's just give it a temporary texture. That way we can see what it looks like in the age. Where's a good texture? Don't care. That's just a color. That'll do. Okay. Moment. I'm going to save this. And I'm going to test export the age so we can get a look and see how this might look in the game. Okay, Blender is finished exporting. Uru has launched. Ugh. So you know that journey door issue that I've been complaining about with Ray's shoe? We've looked into it. It looks like it might be an issue with the Huru client code. Morris and Depog are looking into that right now, so we will see if whatever is busted there gets fixed, and we can port that over, hopefully, into the next big client build out. Ugh. What I'm talking about is, this bug. Yeah, that should have opened first, not closed. Books! Books, I do not do it yet. Oh, good, we got the moons in the sky coming above the mountains. I love the look of that. That's just beautiful, isn't it? Oh, yeah, that is, that looks like a big giant thing. I mean, yeah, it's not the right not the right, it's not textured properly, but it gives us a sense of scale for the thing. Oh boy. I cannot believe I eyeballed that right. That was almost exactly the scale I was going for. Something big enough to be frightening, but big enough, but small enough that you could... Hold on a second. I did not add this thing. I did not add this thing to any environment maps. It is a completely new texture. It's a completely new object. It is not set to reflect in an environment map. Hold on a second. I need to report this. So yeah, I'm wondering if this is why my environment map set here is reflecting a bunch of things that I removed from the environment map set, because it seems to be taking in everything in the age rather than what just the things I told it to reflect. That should not be doing that. Well, ignoring that issue for the moment... Okay, you know that actually, now that I get some scale, the leg might actually be the right proper scale for this. Well, at any rate, I am quite pleased with how big this model is scaled. How it's temporarily looking like a big colorless, shapeless blob, and it's improperly reflecting somehow, but, anyways... Anyways, yeah, okay, I'm happy with that. Okay. I think I'm gonna spare myself some hassle here. And... I'm going to spare myself some hassle here and give myself a little more room for those claws. Okay. So, claws, 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 claws. Crustaceans, crabs and lobsters and the like that have their big pincer claws usually have two different sized limbs or two different sized claws, but I think generally speaking the actual arms are fairly symmetrical. Oh, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to worry about the base arm first before I worry about, yeah. I think I know what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to take this. I'm going to duplicate them. I'm going to go crab arm base. And then I'm going to go transform geometry to origin. Okay. And now we have a big giant limb inside of a thing. Tab. RY90. RZ90. RZ180, rather. Okay. I'm going to pull this forward to about there, I think. Yeah. And I'm going to select this face. I'm going to extrude it, scale it. Extrude it, scale it. Extrude it, scale it. Give it a little bit of some roundness at the end there. Okay. Gonna pull this forward until the origin point is about there. Okay. Now then, we're gonna pull this in. And then I'm going to scale it up. Oh yeah. We're gonna scale that arm out. So yeah, we're gonna pull the arm into about there. Yeah. Control A, rotation and scale just in case. Right then. Realizing that this is probably gonna need brain blast, subdivide, Control T, Control T, there we go. I'm gonna select that. Select that. I'm gonna pull it backwards. Select this. Select this. Pull it down. Select this. And select this. Pull it up. There we go. And that starts to look a little jank. There we go. And then that gives that a little more muscular definition, I think. Should do the trick. Okay. Okay. Scale that out by the y-axis a bit. There we go. Okay. We're going to do what we've been doing. I'm going to duplicate P by selection. And then this is going to go to that giant crab arm base. Pull that out. Okay. Pull that in. Whoops. Got that a little too far out. There we go. Pull that in. Ooh, we'll scale that out to the side a bit. There we go. And we'll scale that bigger. Pull it out. Ooh. Pull it out and scale it small. Okay. Shrink that in slightly. Okay. Actually, hold on. Let's scale it in by the Y and then scale that up by the Z a bit. Because this is going to be a big important joint, so it's got to be big and beefy to fill it in. Yeah, there we go. We're going to extrude. We're going to scale it up a bit more. Extrude. We're going to scale it up a bit more. We're going to extrude and scale that out massively. Extrude, scale it out massively. But shrink it by the Z. Yeah, there we go. Extrude. Crabs don't really have wrists as much as I'm aware. Or maybe more just elbows. I don't. I think I'm going to do, in a moment, is I'm going to give them a slight, I'm just going to give a base that the claws can actually attach onto later. So this is going to be just claw base. I think that'll do. A rotation and scale. There we go. Hey. I'm gonna export this one last time just to give that a look in game. And then I think I might actually call it. I'm really exhausted from yesterday, so what little work we've done here today, I think, is where I might just call it for today. Come on, finish loading. Finish loading. Finish loading. For yep, that's definitely reflecting on the new claw on there now. Anyways, I'm liking the shape of that. I'm liking the outline of it. Very much liking the outline of the textural details. Yeah, that is a very nice set of textural details right there, just from the outline of it. Oh, okay, before I go, call this a stream, I'm gonna show off something that I might have shown off previously. First, let's reset the door so it does the bug and clears it. But yeah, so yeah. You guys know how, when you approach the journey doors in, most stages, you press it? Thanks to Amethyst, I now have that working. And not only do I have it working, I have it working from only one side. So, when you open it, you can only open it from the outside. Yeah, there's a little bit of an avatar jump when it stands up, but you know what? Whoa. That was a little weird. Anyways, but yeah, so... No! Don't close without me! But yeah, we can't. We can now no longer open this from the inside. I removed the internal trigger button. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna call it for today. Though before I go, The new stream starting screen. I have a new stream starting screen. What do you think? Looks pretty good to me, I think. Took me a couple days to draw the artwork for that one photograph, but got it done. And yeah. I like it. I like how it looks. It gives a nice look at things. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna call it. Have a good night, everyone, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!